for Pitts. Intercepted by Ray Hubble, who may go all the way again. He's going to be cut off near the sideline. He was tripped by a man standing in front of the Winnipeg bench.
First down, Edmonton with the football. McManus going up top for Eddie Brown. What a catch! Eddie Brown! Touchdown, Edmonton! Penalty markers down all over the field.
Illegal substitution, too many men on the field, Saskatchewan.
From 33 yards out to win the 97th Grey Cup. Ball down, ball through.
What is up, everybody, and welcome to the Football A podcast. It is your two favorite Americans, maybe, depending on how big of I don't know, I guess Nathan Rourke's not a Vernon Adams fan, you may be, or name your favorite American CFL player, but otherwise we might be your two of the top three Americans in your life. That is me, myself, Bryce, Hopwood, and we have Anthony Ant Ventura of the Football A podcast. First of all, we might have some new listeners this week, or watchers if you're on the YouTube. So one thing you're going to have to get used to is me rambling on here for these first 2.5 minutes after that lovely intro that I made so long ago. We're reaching like 11 months of CFL fandom, and we just experienced our first Banjo Bowl. You are a Saskatchewan Roughrider fan. What are your feelings right now?
They're not good. They're not good at all. I am distraught, frankly. This truly the last couple weeks I feel bad. I brought energy to this. They have sucked the life out of me, frankly. Them and my other football teams, the Browns, they've all sucked the life out of me. I don't mean to word it like this. I can't get it up for football anymore. Like I can't. They've ruined me. This hurts. It was ugly. Trevor Harris was fine all game. He was fine. He kept him in the game. And then that last pick felt like it was in the air for roughly 45 seconds. Like it felt like a punt to me rather than a pass that just got swiped. There was no chance that was being completed. It was disgusting. I am sickened.
I can feel it on your end, through the screen, through the Zoom call, through all of the wires that make this podcast possible. I can feel the sorrow, the sadness, the disappointment that you're feeling right now. And it really is coming through the screen. So luckily this week, you get an off week. It's time for you to regroup because Saskatchewan, I think Saskatchewan, let me double check this real time.
0-6-1 in their last 7.
Yeah,
they were 5-1, and now they're 5-7-1.
I believe
disgusting.
I think it was the last win was actually against Winnipeg, 19-9, Friday, July 19th.
Yes,
that's almost the entire summer. It's almost 3 months.
Calm down.
Look, I don't
months.
have. Yeah, I guess that's fair. It's 2 months, but almost 2 months. I got ahead of myself there. Your guy, Damon Webb, Ohio State alum, 2 of the crazier pick sixes that I've ever seen with the way the ball bounced to him. Did you get a chance to get your eyes on those this week after they crushed Toronto?
I did. Yeah, I like Damon Webb despite some mad and difficulties he might have had back in the day. He's still an Ohio State guy. Happy for him.
The disappointment is spewing through the screen with Saskatchewan after the Banjo Bowl, but the West is looking insane between Winnipeg and BC at the top. Obviously, the spot for third here. I don't think a crossover is totally dead. Wow, why do you say that?
I'm sick of this. I don't want to watch this anymore. This is so frustrating to me. They have it looks like they've given up. It looks like I've given up now, but they look like they've given up for 7 weeks now. They don't deserve to be in the playoffs. Edmonton is fighting their ass off every week to get into the playoffs, and we have laid over and died. We don't deserve to get into the playoffs.
They already said with the bye week that they're going back to Ford after MBT shredded, frankly, Calgary back-to-back weeks. They're going to go back to Ford as the starting QB. I don't know. Seems like a crazy move.
Yeah, Ford is what got them out of the slump at the beginning, but then MBT carried it. It's really tough. I do not envy the head coach decision, that's for sure, because you want to say there's two right answers because you can probably go with either one and be in a pretty good spot, but what's the old Urban Meyer? If you have two quarterbacks, you have zero. So who knows? We'll see.
It's almost like two decent goalies, but one's hot.
Yep.
And it's like, well, the other guy's still good. It's kind of, it's, as the kids might say, it's giving Boston Bruins from a couple years ago with Allmark and
Swayman.
fuck is the other guy's name?
Swayman.
Yeah, Swayman and Allmark. It's like, yeah, pick one or the other. But Canadians, I don't know if they're gonna appreciate a Boston reference. I suppose that's
They're
maybe not,
especially given that Swayman knocked the Leafs
Canadian.
out of the playoffs this year. So I don't want to talk about Swayman. He's bringing up every bad thing that's happened to me in the last couple of months. Hey, remember when you got swept back-to-back weekends by Winnipeg? Remember when you were wrong about Ottawa? Remember when the Leafs lost in the playoffs? Thanks, Hop. Really chewing me up.
Yeah. This is bad hosting bad hosting. I mean, like I said, this week it's kind of like a breath of fresh air for us. I mean,
fresh air.
You did. You could use some fresh air. That's for
fresh
sure.
Air, liters of water in my lungs, not fresh air.
Liters of water. I would love to know what would be worse: getting waterboarded at Guantanamo Bay right now, or doing this podcast.
Watching those last two games against Winnipeg, or being waterboarded at Gitmo. I'll take Gitmo.
That's incredible. This is what you come to football A for. Look, I mean, my Owls got shredded. We just got the news before we recorded this. This is Thursday afternoon. Philpott, Tyson, Dunsky, or no.
Yep.
Yeah, Dunsky for the year. I forget Jalen. I feel like Jalen should be on the Owls, but I prefer to have Ty. But whatever. Obviously, the guy I said would lead the league in touchdowns, started the year hot, and then foot injury, and he's donezo. Won't see him until 2025. Austin Mack, who we brought in, toast as well right now. He's on the bench. Luckily, Julian Grant's coming back. I mean, Cole Speaker's been insane in the interim. Shout out UW Lacrosse, Wisconsin Lacrosse. Always love a guy like that, but yeah, I mean, last week was great. The games were actually pretty good. I mean, Rourke somehow throws 3 picks, and we still lost. We couldn't punch it in at all. Fajardo was all right. I mean, definitely worried about BC's play. I mean, it looks right now like a home Grey Cup for them.
Yeah, Rourke, despite his mistakes, played better than he had been. So if he keeps turning a corner, they are going to be tough to beat, especially because the only team really in their path now is Winnipeg, who's not good. So they'll. I mean, the West is there. The West is theirs.
I hope that's the case because I really love this team, and just now with where the injuries are. I mean, even Dequoy, he goes down. He didn't practice yesterday. I haven't seen the injury report now, but then you have Stanback for BC. I mean, this could be a BC sweep. I mean, we knew they were going to be good before the year. That's for sure. And there was a lot of hype with the Grey Cup being there. But I mean, Stanback, he's got 1,268 total yards between rushing and receiving. We've talked about the most outstanding player being up in the air, but I guess right now, why would it not be him?
Yeah. I it's tough. Ironically, I really hate to say this. I think Drew Brown probably has a pretty good shot still.
Yeah.
Doing what he's doing with that team in Ottawa is impressive, and just being kind of the catalyst for that season. But if it's not Drew, I think it's Drew Brown and Stanback. So I think those are the two.
I can respect that. I can respect that take, and it's nice to see you on the other side of Drew Brown in Ottawa. Look at us. Who would have thought? Yeah, I mean, Webb, Chad Kelly, 3 touchdowns, 4 picks, 463 yards is an insane stat line. They obviously had to keep throwing. Ottawa, very good. The 2 pick sixes from Webb, two of the more athletic plays I've ever seen. Um, and when you go down like 20-3 or whatever it was, I feel like it's still in the first half. Maybe give Kadeem Carey the ball a little bit more. He had 5 carries for 46 yards in the game. Like, instead of letting Chad just keep throwing it to the other team, maybe take the air out of the thing. That's what I was thinking the whole time. Like, take the air out of the ball and let Kadeem freaking eat.
Yeah,
But
it's tough once you get down like that. It's so tough to try to come back. And again, with only having 2 downs, I still feel like running the ball is so inefficient in the CA. Like I get they're giving the yard, but you have to get like 7 yards a carry for it to be relevant. So, or not relevant, but efficient. So it's tough. I see why they were, but probably want to establish that from the first drive, not when you're down 20-3.
yeah, that's fair. I was just getting a little worked up over that.
Yeah, that's fair.
We we talked about the Banjo Bowl. We don't need to, and then we kind of brought
Yeah.
up Edmonton, Barrie, and Calgary. I mean, they're benching MBT. His last 4 games, 76 of 117. I believe that's like upper 60s%. 1,139 yards, 9 scores, and an INT. So it's been a month that MBT's been really good, essentially. So I'm still a little bit surprised. I mean, I'm definitely Ford, as we know from earlier in the season. I'm very pro Trey Ford, but at this point, I don't know. It's like I said, back to the goalie thing, like just ride the hot hand. But what do I know? They're off this week. A bunch of teams are off this week to even things out. I say let's just get right to it. I mean,
Let's do it. I got
I
the
don't really
lines.
I don't really have much other than kind of what happened last week. And apologize if you're a first time listener, but look, we're here. We have a sad aunt, so sometimes we just gotta eat our eat our episodes where we have a sad aunt after these last couple weeks and come back with more next week. He'll be fresh off the bye as well, similar to Saskatchewan.
Yeah, like you said, it's a weird week coming off of those two kind of amped up weekends with all the rivalry games and stuff, and then coming to this where there's only 3 games. So it's a natural lull in the schedule, I think, for everybody, including podcasts.
Yeah, exactly, right? We're humans too. Yeah, it doesn't help I won't say who, but we had potential interviews lined up. We've been since ghosted, which stinks too. That'll take some wind out of the sails, but I'm sure we'll get some more guys on soon because we love talking to guys. As we go here, I gotta check because I don't think he did. I gotta see Aiden's game against Montreal because it felt like he was rather quiet after the um. Oh yeah, he scored again. I'm an idiot. He had another touchdown. So I think is that 3 weeks in a row
Yep.
for our
Yep.
guy? Yeah,
He's huge.
insane.
He's a
He's
guy.
been he might be him, honestly.
I'm saying wide
Uh,
receiver 1 in BC.
some are saying. I mean, fact or fiction, the only wide receiver with a receiving touchdown last week for BC. That's just a fact.
Facts are facts. Wide receiver 1.
You haters out there simply cannot deny it. I mean, our guy Ebes, I don't know. I don't really like saying Ebes there. I'm not gonna lie to you. I wish I could have that one back, but oh no, that's second in a row. Am I
Sure.
crazy? I thought it was.
I thought for sure he scored his one 2 weeks ago, and then
Wow, it's
last
only.
week, and then this week.
Oh, it has only been 2 weeks. Wow, dude, it feels like forever ago that he scored that first one.
And because we're doing this at the end of the week rather than like on a Monday, it feels like forever because it's been 3 weeks for us, but it's only been 2 games.
Yeah,
So
that's a fair point. Speaking of, like I said, we're getting recorded Thursday night, evening, before the game. So let's get to that BC Toronto game. Toronto heads to BC, long
Yep.
flight across the great Canadian landscape, and I think what do you have? You have 4.5,
they
I think is
are,
the
yeah,
line.
Toronto plus 4.5, over under 52.5.
Ooh, that's kind of large.
Sure is.
It should be, I suppose we should note, Mackey, I saw the guy who like fullback kind of role slash short down situation guy. He is out this week.
Yep.
Rourke, they said he's starting this week, and then after their bye week next week, he will they're gonna reevaluate. So whatever the heck that means. They'll reevaluate then to see what happens between VA and Rourke. So I don't know how bad Toronto's looked. BC has been steady as she goes here. As of late, I think I'm gonna take BC with the points. Only need a major. That should be pretty doable, especially in BC place.
Yeah, I feel pretty good about BC too. So Chad Kelly has not looked very good since he's come back. Rourke didn't look good at the beginning, but again, it feels like he's kind of turned the corner a little bit, coming off a huge win. And if they're reevaluating next week, Rourke is going to want to make a final statement on why it should be him over VA. So I think he'll try to have a big week. Not that he doesn't try to have a big week every week, but
Yeah.
you know what I mean.
Yeah, I feel you. That's good. I didn't even consider that in my reasoning. So we're across the board there. Man, I'm so upset about Philpott being Dunsky for the year.
Tough.
But yeah, that's not here nor there. I have it right under my notes for the games this week. I had it just above where I'm writing down our picks. So yeah, sorry, got slightly depressed. I should be the happy one. You should be the depressed one. What am I doing?
Fine.
So that's Friday night, late Friday night too. That's not ideal. 2 o'clock Central Time on Saturday. Ottawa heads to Hamilton. I saw like -3, but it was like -130. So I don't know if there's something else out there.
I see 3.5. I didn't look at the money line splits, but it's 3.5 on FanDuel, and then it's 50.5 for the total.
I mean, if I was gonna take a total, I'd probably take the over, but I just think Ottawa probably continues their domination. I mean, I don't see why Hamilton would get in the way at this point. I mean, Bo Levi could go off at any moment, but also Ottawa's defense has been really, really good.
Yeah, so Ottawa's defense has been good. They picked off Chad Kelly 4 times?
Four
But they
times.
still gave up 31 points. Does that ring a bell? Is that about what it was?
Yeah, but I mean, it was so out of hand, especially by halftime, that
Is it not possible it gets out of hand again against Hamilton? I think there's a decent chance that it does.
That's fair. It was 41-27, so
Yeah, I am gonna take the over under. I think Ottawa has a big night, but I think it could get out of hand and Bo Levi puts up some empty stats, or just Bo Levi does Bo Levi things and puts up numbers regardless of what his team's doing.
fair enough. That was 50.5, the over for you.
Yep.
Wow, what a time to be alive. Finally, Montreal on Saturday night heads to Calgary. Calgary absolutely reeling. They benched Jake Meyer, so it was funny if you listened last week. We had our guy Snack Bites Pete on, and obviously the bucket guy, aka L Bucket, aka Chris Tomafacek, world record holder until further notice. So he and we talked about the Jake Meyer ups and downs. Literally, them I think within a couple hours, Meyer benched for Logan Bonner, who won me money at Utah State a couple years ago. He was fine enough as a quarterback for the group of 5 in American college football. That being said, 5 INTs. If you thought Chad Kelly was throwing them to the other team, Logan Bonner was throwing them to the other team. 5 INTs. I haven't seen. I guess I should probably look to see some clarification on who's starting this week, but I don't know. The win might be out of Meyer's sales, and even if they go to Bonner, I mean, he might throw 7 picks to Montreal's defense.
I don't think it matters who's starting. I mean, even when Meyer has been in, he hasn't been good for a little bit. Calgary is reeling, man. Like, they are worse than even we are. They are rough. They're not even playing close. They're getting blown out on a consistent basis. It's bad up there. I don't know how they fix it against the best team in the league. I just don't see it. And I don't think 5.5 is big enough. So I'll be taking Montreal -5.5, even without Philpott, even without Mac. Doesn't matter.
Wow. Meyer can confirm he is the starter this week. I'm gonna ride with my guys. -5.5, even though it's on the road in Calgary. Like I said, Speaker's been really good in the interim. Looks like Julian Grant will be back, so should be a pretty fun ball game for my guys. I will say, um, I want to check on Antoine Dequoy because he is doubtful. Awesome. That is a recent update. I love finding that out right now.
Mm.
Either way, I mean, I'm pretty confident in our squad. The defense is pretty good. I mean, we won ball games without him earlier this year, right? It should be fine.
Fair.
Should be fine.
Guess we'll find out.
Yeah, so I hope everybody's enjoyed. Sorry, it's been kind of a short one, maybe even a sad one, especially if you're a Rough Riders fan. I hope you've tuned in and you've at least enjoyed enough to give us a shot next week. I do have two more things. One, Jalen Acklin, he was back full participant in practice for Ottawa this week, so that'll be a big help. Not that they needed it really last week, but after that head injury, always like to see guys like that be good to go. So hopefully we get to see him on the field again, 23 for Ottawa. Um, Last thing I want to say, and I don't want to take too much time, not to give the due respect, but obviously we found out our buddy Davis Alexander, his father passed away about 2 weeks ago now. So it's he posted it on Instagram for sure. I think he may have put something on Twitter, but just want to send out prayers to that family, his family, and his dad. Obviously, we found out about the struggles his dad was going through when Davis was leading Montreal there, when we didn't have a quarterback after the Fajardo and our buddy Caleb Evans injuries. So just wanted to share our love to Davis for sure. They do have a GoFundMe to help. So I will put that in the link of this description. If you remember, we did donate for CFL fans fight cancer, which was what Chris was raising money for as he was breaking the world record for the fastest visit to all 9 CFL stadiums. So hopefully you're willing to give, even if it's a little bit. I know the conversion rate. I'm assuming it's going to be in American, not Canadian dollars, but even if you have a couple extra loonies and toonies to spare to help out the CFL family, that would be great. Greatly appreciated. I'm not speaking on Davis's behalf or anything like that. This is coming straight from the Football A podcast. I did donate on our behalf as well already. So, yeah, I just wanted to reach out to Davis on this platform for sure. I sent him a message from us as well, but yeah, hopefully, tough there, and hopefully the family can find some peace pretty soon. So, kind of a sad note to end on, but and I guess you got anything else this week?
No, I'm excited for the bye week. I'm excited for the football this week. But as a Riders guy, I'm excited for the bye week. So hopefully. Let's hope Ottawa clinches the playoffs this week. And no offense, nobody wants to root for Chad Kelly. Let's hope Ottawa clinches that playoff spot. That'd be big for them, their franchise. So hopefully they're able to do that this week and they can celebrate a little bit up there.
Yeah, that would be cool. I think, yeah. Hey, let's end on this. Maybe we're all Ottawa fans this week. Get them back in the offs, especially with this team. They're pretty fun. The all blacks uniforms when they do the black helmet, pants, and jersey.
Pretty good.
Pretty clean. Not gonna lie to you. Pretty clean.
Pretty good.
Pretty good. They'll have Hamilton on Saturday. Montreal heads to Calgary on Saturday, and tomorrow, or today when you're listening to this, Toronto or watching, Toronto will head all the way out to BC at BC Place. Thank you if this is your first time watching and listening. We very much appreciate it. Stick with us because the playoffs are right around the corner. This is week 15 out of 21 regular season weeks. We have hit the 3-quarter mark. Only a few games left, and there's going to be a lot of playoff movement here in this latter part of the season. So thank you for sticking with us through this slower episode. But next week, hopefully we will bring the juice. And maybe something a little bit extra next week. You never know. Might have something on the old burners.
We'll see.
We'll see, everybody. Thank you so much. This has been the Football A podcast. If you enjoyed, give us a like, comment, whatever, share, tell your friends. We appreciate it, and we will see you week 16.